Welcome back everyone. So today's video is going to be something new. I'm going to try to experiment with a new format here. I've been doing this, but I've been doing short form videos of this where I'm presenting different design updates around AI, around different design tools and stuff that I'm coming across. And a lot of you have liked it. So I thought, why not experiment with a long format video where I have more freedom in terms of duration, where I can showcase you things and start explaining it. Let's see how this goes and let me know if you like this in the comments below, and we'll make more of these. So we'll get started with Claude. This is something interesting that I found. In the previous video, I showed you how there was an official plugin where you could enter things into Claude Code, give prompts, and then it'll show the designs on Figma, which was all editable and stuff. But now people have started to bring different types of tools out of it. And this is a CLI tool that I found on LinkedIn. So it's quite interesting, right? So if I play this, you can see that the user here is prompting to scale the content 1.2 times and keep it in the center. So imagine you have a lot of these things. For example, this is a thumbnail they're creating for a conference, and you have a lot of these which are pretty much the same but different content inside. And with just this prompt, you can see that everything gets scaled and it remains in the center. And now the user is trying to change the content to light mode. And just with one simple prompt, everything will get changed into light mode. So there you go, everything changed. The text inside it remains in black and the background changed to white. So that's how easy it is getting to change things on Figma. All these mundane tasks that you do can be automated like this. Let's take a look at one more example. So here the user is basically trying to create buttons. So create a component with button with 4 variants. And there you go, all the 4 variants are created and it made it into a component set. And now let's see, it's just trying to pull out an instance out of it. And with that, you'll be able to choose different types. So hover state, disable state, outline state. So that is how you can see that how Claude Code is turning out to be like a Figma command center, where you give your commands and everything happens live in front of you in Figma. So you can see how the shift is happening, where all these mundane things can be automated in Figma. You don't have to spend a lot of time on these creating components and stuff like that. It's become much more easier. So let's see how this evolves. So that's an interesting thing I found. And while we are on Figma, there is one more new update, which is nothing but Figma Slots. So this has been announced in the previous config, but it's been a long time. But finally it's here. They're rolling out the beta for this. And this is an interesting concept. It's not like a game changer, but it's definitely an interesting concept. So here you can see this Brett, who's a Figma design advocate, trying to explain this. So basically, you remember, right? If you had to make a list component or something, and there were a set of lists, you had to hide a couple of list rows in it if you only needed 3 lists or something like that. But with slots, this is going to be very simple, because now you can put a slot, which is nothing but like a placeholder, where you can add different kind of things, right? You can add different components to it, or you can add different elements into it. So you don't have to detach the component to make a different variant, which is more like a one-off case that you wanted to present on your design file. So now it has become much more easy. You just put in slots like placeholders, and then you can add things into it. I'll make a full video on this. We'll try to make a full tutorial on this, but this is just a quick example, right? So you have something like this where you create a slot like a placeholder, and then you can add different components into it, and that behaves like a new element on your design, right? So you don't have to detach stuff to create something which is one-off variant like that. So we'll talk more about this, but yeah, Figma Slots is out. You can try it out as well. And next, moving on, this is Pencil.dev. So this is an interesting tool which is out in the market, which is changing the perception on that you don't need Figma to start off with design. You can do everything in code, and they have launched a new feature. They have actually hit 100K users, if I'm not wrong. And they are trying to showcase this new feature, which is the swarm mode, where it's not just one AI agent that is helping you, right? So you can see here different AI agents that are working in parallel to get your designs done. So this is the new mode that they're trying to showcase, where you give it a task and you have multiple AI agents working in parallel, creating the final goal for you, right? So this is again the kind of way that design is moving towards. You have different design agents working along with you, more design juniors or mid-level designers who are working in parallel with you. You can keep giving it tasks, and that keeps working on your side, right? So that is like an autonomous design agency that they're trying to showcase here. So that was Pencil.dev and how the design workflow is moving. Next, we will look at something which is interesting by Pablo. So he's an really interesting designer who keeps experimenting with a lot of things. You can check out his work. But here he's trying to showcase his tool Effecto, which is effecto.app. You can check it out as well. So again, here it is something similar to what we saw just before, where you can give it task and you can see that happening right on your screen. And all this is proper code. It's not just like Figma design. This is actual code which you can export as HTML, CS code, and you can publish it right away as well, right? So let me just forward this and you can see it happening. So as you can see here is using Claude Code. He's giving him his prompt, create a website with so and you can see that happening right on the canvas that you see here. So the prompt is given and the AI is trying to think here, and you can see that the design is being populated in the canvas one by one, a section after a section, happening in real time. So again, that is something that we just saw. A lot of these tools are creating these AI agents that can keep designing using Claude Code as the AI agent here. So yeah, moving ahead, we will look at something which is related to motion. So this is a tool which came out recently and it's called Clueso. So if I can play this for you. So what they're promising is AI animations. So these are keyframe animations that are happening and you can put it on your apps and stuff. So all these animations that you see on Duolingo and stuff. And this is trying to use Gemini 3.1 Pro, which is really good at creating these animations. I've already posted some examples in my previous video. So you can see that you just give it the image that you want and you give it a prompt and it creates such amazing animations, which you can right away use it on your designs or your apps and stuff. So this is again Clueso. You can check this tool out. You just give it a prompt and you can see the animations happening in real time. Moving on to the next one. This is something really interesting. It just blown my mind. It is actually showing you the future of how you start brainstorming and ideating on things, right? So far, it has been very clumsome where you had to keep giving prompts and you just probably you give it a wireframe and then you give it a prompt saying that you type in a long prompt and then you get something what you're looking for. But here Kera is using voice mode and it is really, I think, a new revolution that is going to come up. So if I can play this for you. So the user here is trying to give prompts using voice. It's not typing anything. He's just keeping on talking to it. And it's like an assistant which is listening to you constantly and it's happening in real time. So yeah, I'll just play this video with voice so that you get a good understanding.
Mid-century modern wicker chair. Now add a cushion on top. Now make it in a park. Now make it sunset.
So you saw it, right? So he's just drawing things with a very rough sketch on the iPad here. And then he's talking to it and the AI is constantly updating it, ideating on the side. And this is the kind of revolution I'm going to see, which is going to really change how we ideate on things and design things, right? So this is really an amazing update that has come from Kera, which is the voice mode ideation assistant. And we'll go on to the next one, which is Perplexity. You have seen this hype about OpenClaw, which has been very viral in the industry. And this is Perplexity's answer to what OpenClaw is. And it's basically called Perplexity Computer. It is something where you give it instructions, the agent keeps doing things, it has access to a lot of tools and stuff. And then like it has sub agents which are running in parallel. And finally, the main AI agent, which is orchestrating all these, will come up with the final output for you. And these are different things and it is really competitor to OpenClaw, which Perplexity has come out with. It's nothing to do with design, but I thought it's really an interesting update. Let's move to the final one, which is from Apple. So Apple has finally come out with a MacBook, which is a budget edition. So this is called MacBook Neo and it's came to be around $599. It's trying to use the iPhone's A18 Pro chip, which is like a budget chip for a MacBook as such. But I see the strategy is to sell the hardware for cheap and then start earning money through the services. So Apple has got a lot of these different tools they're coming out with, different SaaS applications and ecosystem for the creators. And I think they'll start trying to earn money through that. So basically trying to improve their services sector and trying to get money out of it. So the obvious thing is to create a budget hardware for it and get it to the hands of people, and then you can start getting the revenue, continuous revenue out of it, right? So hardware is like a one-time revenue, but once a person has a hardware and you're logged into the ecosystem, then you tend to start using the tools in it, and that becomes a monthly revenue for Apple as well. So yeah, those were the different updates that I had to share with you. And yeah, this is a really interesting creative video that Apple has made for their new launch. You should definitely check this. This is a long video, but definitely do check it out. I'll put the link for this in the description. You can check out how creative it is, how they made the promo video for this. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Like you saw how the design along with AI is changing. So yeah, a lot of things will keep changing and I'll be bringing such updates. So let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of a video, and we can make more of these on a weekly basis. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.